Hello everyone, Burb here. I am done with Gemini Cup. And yes, as per usual, that is a multifaceted statement because this video I like to go and preview my UMAs that I am chosen for the Gemini Cup and go through my build process, but also go and talk about the frustrations I've had with the Gemini Cup as well, because every single champions meeting has its own set of unique challenges to overcome. So we will go through those two things in this video, followed by a fun little practice race to put all my UMAs up against each other. As you know, I follow my anti-frustration plan, so I technically ended yesterday, but yesterday was a very busy day, considering I had to make two videos at the same time, so this is coming out today. Like I said, I will show you my team, and you can use those as example builds if you want something to compare them to, if you have not built your UMAs yet as well, okay? The first frustration that I had, and this is sort of the structure we're going to go through this time, is that, hey, the CM's frustrations sort of came out one after the other after the other. The first one was with the Guts build. The Guts build itself is a frustrating build for me because, one, the stat requirements are very high. The theory behind it is that, hey, you're going to hit your speed and power max by hitting the Guts button, and you only sacrifice a tiny bit of wit, really. So you're not really sacrificing your power that much, so you can get a lot of Guts for just a tiny bit of wit. The problem is that if you're doing any other forms of RNG, the fact that if your Guts cards just don't go to the Guts button, you don't really have a viable UMA, made it so you'd hit that aptitude S, and then you'd fail the run, and that was stupidly frustrating to me. So we had the Guts build, and when I was learning the Guts build, I did it on what I thought was the best character to learn it on, which was Oguri Cap. This is just a late surger Oguri Cap. You can do this on Vodka too if you are new to Guts build and you just want to learn on your own time as well. It's basically the same thing, but essentially the 20% speed growth and the 10% power growth makes it pretty easy. And the worst thing that can happen on a Oguri Cap build is that you just get less Guts. You don't really miss your speed with 20% speed and 10% power itself. So this is just a passable Oguri Cap. And the next problem that I was having is I reached my passable UMAs very quickly. So I was immediately thrust into min-max mode on week 1, which I know is like a steak too juicy situation. But now I have like 3 weeks where I'm just going for marginal increases, which included forcing things into the end closer position because I'm a backline player and end closer has straightaway spurt this one and late surgers have our hopes and dreams. And what was happening was because I was basically min-maxing, the chain events weren't happening. I made an entire video on this. There are some of the most infuriating things in this game because it's completely outside of your control except for killing off chains early, which you can choose through changing certain cards in your deck too as well, I guess. But once you're in, you're sort of in that case. So we used our knowledge of the Guts build and we eventually did get a good Narita Taishin. This was the first one that I would say is passable. It hit all its stats, but as you know, and you can see, friggin' Bamboo Memory failed the flip, as well as just, CB Wit didn't give us Daring Strike. So it's like we're missing so much mid-race because of that, even though we did hit stats. But eventually, we did end up getting some, we got one with Daring Strike, but I messed up and got Mile B. And it's like, you can't hit your wit every time, too. And it's like you get these mid-race skills that are great and all, but then your wit's not high enough to hit any pace-up modes, and it's like you need both of them to really compete with speed, power, wit anyways, and it's just super frustrating. I would end up making a Narita Taishin that was good. This is like a really funny Narita Taishin. Yes, the power is low. No, it doesn't really matter because if you look at the number of accelerations, I just kept picking up accelerations because I thought it was funny. This is a Narita Taishin in general. She should just be able to win all the time, and she, yes, is winning a bunch of room matches as well. So, yes, the power is low. She just has, she has Ig Guts, and this is the only time I think I will ever run Ig Guts where I've actually hit the bonus threshold for the bonus, the bonus effect on it. So that's kind of funny, and I decided I wanted to run this one. So this is a final ace. We used a parent in speed, stamina, 3 power, and a wit. Just those are the parents that I had. And we used the 1, 2, 3 wit build. It turns out the solution to not hitting your wit is, well, Taishin has 20% guts bonus. So you just run a extra wit card, and you cut 1 guts card at that point. So no corner con, but I think we have plenty, honestly, of excels in this character, so I don't think we're lacking in that department. So we overcame the chain events, I suppose, and we had problems with the guts build again. Because guts was painful for me at this point. I did run like 20 Taishin runs and had like 3 viable Umas, 2 of which didn't have Daring Strike, and the third was just good enough that I'm done with Taishin at this point. So I would do it, but I would do it on a character that I think is also incredibly easy, which is Taiki Shuttle. Just speed wit is that busted. And you basically just focus guts on her. And the first Taiki run I did was UG3. And I've never hit this high of a rating. And yes, this rating is kind of fake. If you're wondering, yes, we have Shrewd Step, but at home, we have a groundwork proc that is procking off of Umastan. So technically it's closer to fighter because of the accumulate time, but hypothetically we can high roll with any straight skill instant procking, and we're probably going and kidnapping a front runner, which will be funny. But no, this is a little fake with the UG3. There's just we picked every single skill we could grab, and it wins because it's just skill diffs people, and it's Taiki Shuttle. She always can just late proc. Not necessarily the strongest character in the world in the CM. I think I rated her A tier due to her ease of use, but she was very easy. And we tried to keep replicating this. We would get UGs, but we never would get the success that we had, basically because of the chain events and mainly fine motion, not flipping speed star, and then we would just run out of things to buy on the character. So, yep, we have our Taiki Shuttle. This is the second ace. I used the same parents as the Taishin, I believe. It's just we swapped out for Nishina Flower. And then we ran a 1-3-2 guts build, and I probably should not have borrowed fine motion. The other problem we were having is the only really way to make this better is to run NTR for, what's it called? Narita Top Road for Firm Course Menace as well, and then that's way too much speed on this character. So that was the problem we were having, is that we were just basically getting lower guts, so what was the point at that? So this Taiki's fine, that one's fine. We were doing the guts build, and now we have to do the oshi pick, or the fun pick, which means that we have to obviously pick the likable, black-haired, short-haired Uma with a 5-second final straight ultimate that requires the front of the pack and is a bit finicky. And of course, I am talking about Fuji Kiseki. It's honestly the least that I can do because Ray is running winning ticket because of the 5v5 match. So we're running Fuji this time, not ticket. I don't run my Oshi every single CM. Also, it kind of feels like ticket has sort of completed her story, so let's let her rest for a bit because she just won the derby. And and I don't know if I can reach that peak again in this CM, so we're running Fuji Kiseki. We're running Ray's Oshi. And yes, we ran a lot of Fuji Kiseki, a lot of it. And there's the reason for that. We'd make a bunch of really good Fuji Kisekis with Guts build, and I think the second one was with Speed Power Whip build. But we'd get them. We'd get a fast learner run with Mile S and everything, and then it has corner excel and a bunch of other different accelerations because we can just pick every skill because we hit, we hit what's it called, fast learner. Yep. And then we would put it in, and we'd find that like paces outside of Taiki and Flower are just like the tiniest bit homeless. And it wasn't that she would have won room matches. She definitely would have won a good number of room matches. It's just she's fighting my Taiki and Taishin, and she was getting so many third and second places behind those two that it's like I wanted to actually like give Fuji a chance and like not just have her just be assist bot the whole time. And like she may grab like a win or two against them, but it seemed very like ethical, I guess. What's it called? Give her a chance by forcing her like in the late surger position. We have all this, and I can't believe it took me as long to figure out, but like when you have a late race ultimate that requires front half the pack, you just force her late surger, and then all of a sudden she procs her ultimate at better timing. She has a much better chance, and she has greater late race speed than the pace chasers. It's not an end closer, but it certainly helps. And so we stopped with the guts build because we kept getting frustrated with it. We started doing speed power wit, and yes, we don't have the guts on this one, but we have so much stamina that our dueling is longer than most people. And also we just have so many good skills on this character. We're a late surger now. We have a bunch of gambling accelerations because that's the only way we are winning in the late surger position is by high rolling gambling because we are fighting spurt and we are fighting angling and scheming. And it's just basically shotgun mode. That's how you play late surgers. You shotgun mode your excels, you shotgun mode your speed skills, and we have max wit to carry us in the early game as well. Also, we have firm course menace on this one, so that offsets some of the guts loss as well. So I think this Fuji has been winning like a room match or two. It's obviously not as good as the Taishin, but you know, do what you can. 1200 power will just win you races sometimes. Stats will just win races. This is also a final Uma build, so here is the build for this one. 38 wins with a stamina, because that's what we had because we're forcing her late surger, so we need late surger sparks. 2 power and 3 wit, because we are going down to 2 wit cards in the speed power wit build. So the team is Fuji Kiseki, is Taiki Shuttle, and our Narita Taishin. And that would have been the last frustration. Sorry, I did complete this like a week ago, so I did make a backup gold chip. If things start going very far south, gold chip is just that powerful. This is what I was saying with the 3 speed deck. She just ends like classic year with 800 speed, and then you just start racing. So you can just race like freaking 40 times and you're perfectly fine, and you get 12 12 12 600 600. You can start tapping the stamina button. It was all good, it was all cool. It has daring strike. This gold chip's probably better than all 3 of them, so we'll bring her out if we're struggling to hit a finals. And then at that point, this is my suggestion: if you're done with the CM and you don't necessarily just want a parent farm, just like build a character that's good. So like hypothetically, if you high roll, you can throw her as an ace. We never hit that with Digiton, mainly because we could never get daring strike on her in a mile S run. But we were trying end closer Digiton, and we were looping Umastan, and you can see I got 3 Umastan hits on mostly end closer sparks, which was hilarious, which means it's more for 5v5 than anything else. So we aren't running this Digiton, but we did get good use that wasn't like making us frustrated from just having to run parent runs over and over and over again. I did make a front runner. I did Sand Sky. I did 1 run. Obviously we didn't hit max speed, but like this character, like I said, is super easy to build, and honestly I think that I've made a lot of progress since the last one. So here's the final frustration, is that, like I said in that previous video, I'm not going to talk too much on it because I talked about it in the schedule video that most of you are probably coming from. Side Games released cards early, which means now V Bourbon is a massive threat, because there's nothing really that can fight against her mid-race. Obviously, just build a better Uma, right? But now she has Mile Maven. So we'll see how many of those we reach. We could just not hit finals because of that. We could not hit finals due to our own merits. It is frustrating, but hey, that is something that we have to work through. So this is the fun part of the video where I do a practice race. If you're just looking for the team, that was the team. However, I do like to put the builds together, and maybe it influences which one I choose. I have already opened up, so we have in our thing, the backup gold chip is in gate 1. We have the perfect skills pace Kiseki. So this is our pace chaser Kiseki, the late surger Kiseki, and then our backup Digiton, the Taishin that hit stats that didn't hit daring strike. We have Taiki Shuttle. We have a pace setter in our Saiyan Sky. I just like 1 front runner lobbies because it just lets any of them win. And then of course we have our first run OG cap, and then finally our Narita Taishin that we are running. So the gates 3, 6, and 9 are the ones that I am choosing. So here we are. Let me get you some audio here. One moment. Let me see there. Yep, that is very loud for you. Apologies. And then let me get my headset on so I can hear. All right. I will leave you with this, and I'll analyze the race at the very end. Okay? Minus 12 BP.
晴れ渡る空のもスタートです。各馬娘綺麗なスタートを切りました。
みんな集中してましたね。好レースが期待できそうです。
セイウンスカイとオグリーキャップ、この2人が競り合っているぞ。期待通りの結果を出せるか。1番人気タイキシャトル、9番成田大使、落ち着かない様子。セイウンスカイ快調に飛ばしていきます。さあ花に立ったのはセイウンスカイ。このままリードすることができるか。2番手の位置で先頭を伺うのはタイキシャトル。1馬身離れて2番富士奇跡。その後3、4馬身開いて3番富士奇跡。差がなく9番成田大使、さらに5番成田大使、少し後ろからオグリーキャップ、それを見るようにゴールドチップ、内からアグネスデジタル、大欅を越え4コーナーへ。この直線で勝負が決まるぞ。
早く誰よりも早く。甘く見て後で吠え面かかないでよね。私がマジだってこと教えてあげる。
まだ1馬身以上の差があるぞ。ここから捉えることができ きるのか、まだ転倒し合っているのか、互いに3人のままレースが進みます。
前に抜け出すのは容易じゃなさそうです。
タイキシャトル、ここで抜け出した最終コーナー、最初に駆け抜けてきたのはタイキシャトル。栄光まで400、行きました。5番成田大志、5番成田大志、ぐんぐんと上がっていく。5番成田大志、抜け出した200を通過。5番成田大志、リードは1馬身。5番成田大志、足も衰えない、やりました。5番成田大志、他の馬娘たちをねじ伏せレースを制。
もう
I swear every time I do these videos, the ones that I don't choose win. Literally I don't understand anymore. I guess Guts is that powerful, so maybe I should swap my Taishin out. We will reevaluate that. I'm surprised Fuji Kiseki actually did this well. I think she literally just hit 3rd or 4th, and it might have been a corner con that I did not see. I thought the Radiant Star was early. So, hope you enjoyed. That is the video. Looking forward to Gemini Cup. I might stream it again, so look forward to it if you're into that. Take care, everyone. Good luck building your Umas if you haven't or yet, and good luck in the Gemini Cup. Or about.